Nerds! It's Daddy History. We are at John Muir's house. If you don't know who John Muir is, he is the father of the national park system. He's the one who helped create Yosemite and Yellowstone and all of that. He convinced Teddy Roosevelt. And this is his home. It's a national park as well. But this building right behind me is an adobe. Let me see if I can get it in a better frame. And it looks peaceful. But places like this are exactly where the California genocide was engineered. Ranching outposts, settler estates, and expanding frontier footprints, all pushing into native homelands. We are going to be talking about the Gulch Massacre. And it didn't happen here. It happened way up in Redding. And I couldn't go there because I had my little boy, and putting him in a car for 3 hours sounds awful. But the reasons that it happened were built in places just like this, okay? By 1852, Northern California was a powder keg. Settlers were pouring in after the gold rush, violently dispossessing tribes all the way from the Bay Area to the Trinity and Klamath regions up north, near Oregon. One of those groups were the Wintu, specifically the Nor-Relmook band in the Hayfork Valley. They were salmon people, oak people, river people, living the same lifeways their ancestors had for thousands of years. And suddenly, their world was full of armed newcomers. So here's the spark. In early 1852, a local rancher and county official named J.R. Anderson was killed under mysterious circumstances. Settlers, of course, immediately blamed the Wintu, despite having zero evidence. But this was California in 1852. No one cared about evidence. All they cared about was revenge. Frontier justice wasn't justice. It was a code word for violence with zero consequence. And the laws of the time made it even worse. Now, this adobe and the era for which it stands, this structure sits inside the world created by the 1850 Act for the Government of Protection of Indians. Now, that sounds nice, right? It wasn't. It was legalized native indenture, slavery. It allowed children to be taken and authorized militias to respond to native resistance. Respond meaning massacre. Which brings us directly to why this matters today. The Gulch Massacre wasn't an accident or a tragedy. It was the predictable result of systems built in places like this. Ranching expansion, settler entitlement, racialized fear, and legal frameworks that treated native life as disposable. When we stand here, we're not looking at a random adobe. We're looking at the infrastructure of genocide. And the Wintu, the people who were attacked in Gulch, are still living with the consequences of decisions made hundreds of miles away in spaces like this. So I'm going to take you around the area, tell you more about the Gulch Massacre, and I hope you enjoy. Okay, love you. Bye.